Hello, everybody, and welcome to the My Turn Racing Truck Series here at Kentucky. The sun is set for the most part. There's still a little bit of sunlight left, but from the looks of it, the lights around the racetrack should be kicking on in a few moments' time. Aside from that, though, it's going to be a pretty interesting race. 75 laps are up and ahead for this race here tonight. Third race of the season as well, out of 9. And Ian Cornish is currently in the lead. We're running on board with John Jarrett right now as he takes to his qualifying lap. You can see how much the sun has set as compared to an hour ago, where it was definitely at the peak of its sunset. So of course, it's going to be a very, very exciting race. I believe our microphone level is a lot lower than it should be. I'm listening to it back right now, so that's a bit strange. Might boost that in a second. But aside from microphone issues, there has been a slight update to the overlay, nothing too major. But if a caution does come out, then we will be seeing that in action. Almost 5 minutes remain in qualifying. Jarrett is going to wrap up his qualifying time. We have Mark Murphy running his lap time as well. So if you look over to the currently side, we'll see where he comes in position for his qualifying time. We have 28 drivers here for tonight's 70 lap event. 19th, not terrible. Ken Bracey wrapping up his lap time. John Jenkins, he's completed his laps as well. Mark Murphy's going back out. He's just doing one lap at a time. Well, he does have 4 laps to do so. So we will see what we can do about the microphone level. It sounds decent on OBS. That's not maxing out like it should be, so I'm not sure what Windows has done recently. So let's see. At the moment, nope, that's still not too great. There we go. I think that's a lot better. There we go. Not sure what Windows has done about that. So luckily, it's a lot louder, at least for me. So there is that. That's good. That's a good thing. Mark Murphy has made his way up to 10th place in his qualifying time. That still sounds quiet. Not sure what the heck is going on. Although that probably could be for me. So aside from that, though, lights around Kentucky should be coming on. Yep, well, there go the tires. Nashville Dijon, of course, he's in first place, and that's in the qualifying standings. So we'll see what we can do here about the microphone level on at least the OBS side, because I do have a close open threshold, so it's a little bit sensitive. Hopefully everything is a-okay. Yep, all good. So there is that. That's a good thing. Meanwhile, about a minute 50 seconds left. 22 drivers have qualified, and 7 have yet to do so. So instead of 28 drivers, I actually make 29. So somebody was a little bit late, but at least they did make it in time. So there is that. Michael Jones mentioning that. Oh, sorry about that. Just now realized that the camera wasn't actually showing. Good thing I noticed. Man. So Michael Jones saying that he's got a mid-pack start tonight. He's gonna try and hold on to the pack for a good finish. Rewind back to the old school. Ooh, so he may have a different paint scheme here. I have a minute to find out, or depending on how long Michael can type and tell us that. But as we wait for that, I am proud to bring you this action as the lights are still not on yet. That is torture, I swear. I want to see those lights come on, but I am Gary Weaver bringing you the camera angles and the commentary and any other unwanted issues that may or may not occur. You never really know, but we still work through it, still give off a decent broadcast, pretty, well, yeah, pretty much. Oh, Michael Jones, he has the old school sponsor. All right. Yeah, he's not wrong about back to the old school. He literally means back to the old school. So that he does have a point there. 5 seconds remaining, and we will pull the grid up in the proper section this time. And we are going to go ahead and show that starting grid as the lights have finally come on. About time too. And looks like everyone's gridding in pit road. I did not plan for that. But either way, Nigel Dijon currently starts in the first place position. Ian Cornish to his outside in second. This is honestly not a great pit lane. There we go. Ian Cornish in second. Third place will be the 16 of Matthew Dalton. I skipped a row somehow on the timing screen over here. Matthew Dalton starts in third. Fourth place will be the 71 of Linus Brostrom, who is also not there yet. There's Matthew Dalton, though. Fifth place will be Jake Forrester in the number 44. Mark Redford starts in the 6th place position. 7th place will be Adam Wright. And Josh Wong to his outside starts in the 8th place position. Patrick Orr in the 87 starts in 9th. And Mark Murphy rounds out the top 10 in the 10th place position on the outside. 11th place will be Simon Marshall. Doug Kinraid starts in 12th. 13th is going to be John Jarrett. 14th is going to be Michael Jones. There's the rewind. And 15th place is going to be John Jenkins in the number 43, just over on the left-hand side of your screen. Ken Bracey starts 16th. 17th will be Ian Bassey. 18th, Carl Jacquelet. 19th, Stuart Pomfrey. 20th is Christopher Kearney. But we're not done yet. We have about 9 other drivers to go through, as we have Stuart Barnett in the 383. I don't believe we've 303 actually. I don't think we've seen him last week. But aside from that, he does start in the 21st position. 22nd will be Sergio Cabral. 23rd, Doug Pickering. 24th is going to be Carl Hayes. 25th, Jonathan Rex. 26th, Andy Oakley. 27th, Daniel Beckett. 28th, Stephen Parks. And rounding out the 29 car field is the 54 of Mike Robertson. Only one pace lap here, I believe. I may be wrong on that. But we're definitely going to be running this race into the night. And if there is a second pace lap, then I'll quickly readjust my microphone level through Windows. Aside from that, though, I can just compensate with the actual volume for the cameras here on the racetrack. 41, 81, 16, 71, 44 make up your top 5. Pace car will pull off, and Nigel Dejean is going to bring the field to the green. And green flag is out. We are underway for Under the Lights here at Kansas, and everyone is already starting to go wide. And this is going to be an interesting start here, heading down to turn number 1. And caution is already out. That's Daniel Beck in the 23. Heavy damage. I think Ian Bassi was also involved. He was. Stuart Pomfrey already in pit road. And looks like I was incorrect on that thing popping up. So probably going to get that fixed in a few moments. Aside from that replay coming up here in a few moments, I'm not seeing anything major on the 23. So it's probably just internal. We'll ride on board with the 23 Beckett for this. And, Pomfrey, he came in front of the 15, and, Beckett, nowhere to go. 54 of Mike Robertson got great avoidance there, though. But yeah, that internal damage is definitely one of the main factors for this. Riding on board next is going to be with the... Actually, they already had a little bit of damage, so... maybe... I'm going to see this on the start. Admins are more than likely going to look at this afterwards. This is from the start of the race. No, that was just a bit too quick for the 36 of Pomfrey. He just had a quick start, so... Continue to ride on board. Well, not sure about that. Definitely controversy. Maybe racing, but it's just one of those things where you don't really know which is going to be the actual answer to it. But either way, the caution is out, so we'll see what we can do. Unfortunately, losing the picture for a few quick moments. And there we go. Alright, so we're going to get this secondary thing trying to work, if possible. So the lights on the pace car will remain on. Nigel Dejean still in the lead. So we do have time. We're going to go and throw to a quick commercial break for a few moments here. This is the Racing Line Broadcasting Network with the My Turn Racing Truck Series here at Kansas.
The most online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
We are back here at Kansas. Finally, everything is, majority of this is properly working. Again, this is the third race of the My Turn Racing Truck Series as we get our overlay reset. Just to make sure everything is properly working and actually working. Pace car is on the back straight. Picture will be coming up back in just a few moments. Apologies for the errors that we've had. Pace car will be coming back to pit road here in a few moments. Broström on the apron a little bit. Not sure if he was either saving or whatever, but green flag is going to be back out here in just a few moments' time. And we are back under green. Not sure what's going on with the lap counter there, but hopefully that'll fix itself in a few moments. Aside from that, though, it's 75 laps, not 41. So a side-by-side battle for the fourth place position. Matthew Dillon on the top side, low side. It's going to be Linus Broström in that number 71. He's trying up in the wall of turn number 4. Caution is back out. As the lap counter slowly makes its way up, and that's Michael Jones, unfortunately. So our second caution for the day, we're going to find out what happened here. Looks like Jones just slid up, and maybe the 8 slid up as well. 2 cautions over in turn 4. We're going to get a different angle of that for sure. Slid up, almost got into the 58, comes down into the 8. Probably just misjudged that distance. Unfortunately, Michael Jones, that mid-pack start didn't work out too well, but he is still rolling, thankfully. So hopefully he'll be able to get that back going and at least survive to the end of the race. Again, not sure what's going on with our lap count. That should be 75, not 66. So I'll just go for a loss of picture instead of a commercial again, since it is just a little bit easier that way. Even I'm not sure what's going on. That only happened once before, so I got nothing on that. So lights in the pace car are still on for the time being. We're gonna go ahead and throw the picture back up here, just so everyone's got something to look at. As I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on with the lap counter. Some must have bugged out there in the setting. So we'll see what's going on with the lap counter. Try and get that number corrected back to 75, and not for whatever reason 66. Although this did happen once before, so just a little bit of on the scenes in a sense is that the number is sometimes incorrectly set to the laps remaining instead of the total laps. So lights on the pace car are now out. It's going to reload the overlay and hopefully everything will properly work. Nope, still 66 laps. Alright, we'll just go for a full-on reset of the overlay here. And if that doesn't work, then unfortunately we'll probably have to deal with it for the rest of the race. Or it'll just hopefully correct itself. We'll double check on the setting for the timing screen, which is set to race. So that is a bit strange. Nope, 41 laps for some reason. Alright then. Well, while that remains incorrect, we're still going to use the ticker and everything else. And just hope that corrects itself. Of course, apologies for the issues that are occurring, but you can still roll with this, and the field is going to come down to the green flag, and it is back out once again. Naja De Jong still in the lead. Easiest lead so far for him. Look at this, 4 wide already. Huge scatter of the field. Entering turn number 1 and 2. 3 wide. Hopefully everyone will be able to make it through. But for the time being, Jake Forrester in the 44 is battling for 3rd place against Linus Broström, but at the moment he's got the inside lane as the preferred lane. He's doing such a great job of hanging on to that as well. 25 with Ken Bracey in the middle, 3 wide, now 2 wide on the top side, trying to survive as best as he can. Question is it going to work out though? Because Mark Murphy is slowly starting to make his way back up after almost getting wrecked and somehow managing to avoid that. That lap count is again incorrect, but it's a little bit more correct than it was before. Should be 7 instead of 6, but there it is. Now we got the lap count correct. Just had to give it a while is all, but aside from that though, side by side, top side, Jonathan Rex, he's trying to make that line work as best as he can. Simon Marshall also on the top side. Caution is out, same portion of the track again. I think that was, I don't know who that was actually. We'll get a replay of that up in a few moments. Not sure who had wrecked, but we'll get that up in the replay. Oh, and speaking of commentator's curse, it was Mark Murphy. Oh man, I don't know if we got turned or what from that camera angle, but Ken Bracey is definitely involved in that. It was just a quick Wasn't even a full-on spin, so I'm not sure why it was caution worthy, but also kind of makes sense. We'll see from here. From there, it looks like Mark Murphy may have just moved up the racetrack a little bit too much. I'll check it out from the very far camera here on top of the grandstands, and yeah, just moved over way too quick. Those sparks were beautiful though, but that's at the unfortunate expense of Ken Bracey's right hand side of the truck. And get an onboard look as well from that number 25. Yeah, that was just way too soon for the 58 on a little bit of front end damage as well. And while everybody is in pit road for the first time tonight, and if we could properly look at everybody, that would be wonderful. But aside from that, off first is Josh Wong, Christopher Kearney second, De Jong third, fourth Cornish, fifth Brostrom, and somebody took a cone with them. This is our third caution of the day. Unfortunately, a few things are a little bit messed up, and caution count is appearing incorrect elsewhere, so that's pretty unfortunate. But aside from that, though, Josh Wong is currently in the first place position, and we can finally start to see the lights on the racetrack as the sun sets even more here at Kansas, or Kentucky. Man, somehow I always get these two tracks confused, Kentucky and Kansas. I have no idea why, but Kansas has no caution lights whatsoever, not even green flag lights. So that's a slight issue right there. So the lights on the pace car have turned off. Sorry for that silence. I was doing trying to redo the overlay over here. Trying to figure out what the heck is going on with it. Aside from that, though, Josh Wong will be bringing the field to the green flag this time by. So number 28 going to bring the field to the green. Pace car pulls off of pit road, or pulls onto pit road, I should say. And Josh Wong is down and away early on. Green flag is out here at Kansas. And And what a great start by number 28, but was it too great of a start is my question, because well, he's not really going to... Well, he's holding this gap, though. He's in front of Nigel DeJong for the time being. These two battled a long time, pretty much the entire track. The entire race, I should say, over at Darlington. So the 41-28 know each other pretty well, but not as much as the 41 and 81. So it's the 81 that won the first week at Talladega. Second week was won by Nigel DeJong. Who could win this week is the question. We may have three different winners. The last few winners here at Kansas were all first-time winners. Joshua Drinkwater, Ian Cornish has a second chance. He's in third place at the moment. Callum Barron, Reese Saunders, who is not here this week. He's on vacation. And we also have Sahil Mustak. So this could be quite interesting, but Nigel DeJong, he wants to be that first-time winner, but so does Josh Wong. Ian Cornish wants to make a repeat here. Aside from that, anybody else could be taking the prize here unintentionally, but DeJong doesn't really have anything to do right now. Tried to make a move, couldn't make it happen. He's going to be on the inside. It's going to be on the inside of that 41, looking to the inside of the 41, I should say. It's not going to have any effect for the time being. DeJong to the inside for first place. Does he have the bumper to the inside? He does now. He has the entire truck to the inside. Here in turns 3 and 4. Onto the apron, the lap led that time around was by Nigel DeJong. And that wasn't his first lap led either. That was his 15th lap led out of 22. So DeJong is currently the race high driver of leading laps. Look at Jake Forrester in the background. He's going to try and make a move on Ian Cornish in the process. I think we've seen Jake Forrester in any other position aside from fourth. We're definitely going to get a great look at this battle here for the second place position, as well as a great look at the sky, but that's not as important as this battle for Ian Cornish. Cornish is trying his best to get to second place, but at the moment he can't make that inside line work. Jake Forrester, however, making the outside line work very, very well. Josh Wong trying to make the top side work as well, or at least the middle. It's not working for the time being. Caution is out. That's Doug Pickering. Ken Bracey also involved. He's got a smoking engine as well. And the two of Pickering, his engine may be done as well. So number 2 of Pickering and the 25 make a little bit of contact over in turns 1 and 2. Oh, man. Oh, hard shot by both drivers. Is that the... I don't think that's 23. I think that was a 43. That was a 43. John Jenkins with an amazing avoidance. But my goodness, not sure what had happened there. If there was no room or Pickering was blocked. We'll see what happened here. I have a great move here from the onboard, or a great look, I should say, to the inside. I don't know. I can see how it's the preferred line, but oh man. Just like that, Doug Pickering is out, unfortunately. That's the second time where it's going to be a debatable incident between either racing or intentional. Here's a look from John Jenkins. Oh, man. I'll take another look from Stuart Pomfrey as well. He was the closest to that. incident as well. So pit road is pretty busy once again. Mark Redford first, Adam Wright second, third place Ian Cornish, Josh Wong fourth, fifth is Jean Brostrom, Forrester, Hayes, Jean Jarrett, and Carl Jacqueline make up the rest of your top 10 that have exited pit road. And we'll see if we can hopefully and finally get the proper the overlay working properly. It's better to do it under caution rather than during green flag, to be honest. Aside from that, great job to Mark Redford. He's first, so he's gonna have a pretty he's gonna have a great restart to look forward to here. Adam Wright second. He had started in 7th place, so not too bad. He hasn't really had the highest or lowest position as per ATVO's slight reset of stats. There we go. Well, his highest was unofficially 6th. It's actually 2nd place. And unfortunately for Michael Jones, he decided the oh man, poor Michael Jones. So he pulled off. His car's too broken. His car's broken way too much, and it's too slow. Spotter is not getting paid enough tonight either, apparently. So Michael Jones' spotter does not know what a spotter has decided to do. And speaking of not knowing what to do, am I the only person that just didn't realize that the people that pay in Kentucky made that dashed line a little bit too low? That just doesn't look correct. Oh, that's interesting. That sorry for the depth of field here, but that just does not look correct. Turn 4, well, Kentucky 4 has the same thing. I guess they decided to not put it in the literal middle lane, the middle section of the wall, where there actually is a middle section of the wall. There's actually 5 spaces, so not sure what's going on with that. But aside from that, though, the field will be coming off of, yeah, it's just everywhere where it's not in the middle section of the wall. The field is starting to come through turns 1 and 2. And of course, about 3 or 4 cautions so far. Don't really have an accurate count, unfortunately, as the multiple overlay resets that I've done has erased the caution counts. And of course, everything will be looked at after the race. But on the bright side for Mark Redford, he's going to be starting in the first place position. Adam Wright to the outside. And 3rd place will be Ian Cornish. Green flag is back out, and we are underway once again here at Kansas. I want to encourage everyone in the chat to make sure that be polite. Adam Wright's going to get passed on the inside by Nasher DeJong after getting shuffled back to 3rd. Onto the inside. To the apron. Somebody's really in the apron. Who is that? That's Jake Forrester and Carl Hayes. Oh, this is not going to end well. Right up into everybody else. Caution is going to come out eventually. Great save by Carl Hayes. Dirt track throughout the entire corner. Somehow that wasn't a caution through iRacing. But Carl Hayes with a wild ride through the grass and then turns 1 and 2. I'm more than likely sure they had way too much speed carrying in the corner. He tried to check up, but he couldn't really do that in time. So unfortunately, a few other drivers had made contact. Just looking through the mid-pack, just looking at the mid-pack, I should say. Mark Redford still holding on to the lead. Adam Wright back to second. Ian Cornish third. And Adam Wright slowly starting to charge back up through the field. But Ian Cornish has been in third pretty much ever since green flag runs have started, I should say. He more than likely wants to get this that first place once again, or at least a position that isn't third. Dijon to his outside is going to be making a move for that third place position as well, as the field is incredibly spread out from what happened a few laps ago. And hanging on to the third place for the time being is going to be Ian Cornish, but look at Adam Wright. He's going to make a move to the inside. Contact with Mark Redford twice almost. Into the front of Nigel DeJong. Mark Redford sends into the outside wall. DeJong swerves out of the way to avoid everybody else. Redford gets the worst of this. He's dropped from first to seventh, and he may drop even more positions as well. Oh, Adam Wright sideways in turn one. Somehow he saves it. Somehow that isn't caution. I'm not sure if he was bumped by Cornish or not, but Adam Wright saved it just like it hasn't even happened, so he and Redford are sent back. Middle 3 wide is the 87 of Patrick Orr. What the heck is going on? My goodness, wild few laps here. Are we sure we don't have competition cautions here? Because we could need one for once. We may get a replay of that in a few moments, but at the time, not now. Looking through the field, there's no one really side by side as of yet, at least at the front, but Patrick Orr is trying to defend that 6th place position. And the calm silence over here at the other side of the racetrack as the trucks race around, and the silence is a little bit broken. 40 laps to go this time around. Adam Wright and Mark Redford were first and second. They've since gotten the worst of that. And meanwhile, Josh Wong is pretty much on top of the back bumper of Nigel DeJong, trying to apply a little bit of pressure and use that slipstream. Not making a move as of yet, but for now, Ian Cornish is first. So he could be the second time winner here at Kentucky. Linus Brostrom hasn't won yet. Here at Kentucky, I should say. There's Ken Bracey on the inside, the apron. He's making his way off of pit road after a few laps of repairing his truck. We'll go back to the top 7 here, battle for 7th place. Mark Redford trying to defend against Adam Wright. I think Adam Wright is actually just going to be following through because, well, nope, never mind. He'll dive to the inside. He wants to get back up to the top few positions. He wants to get back up to the top 3 more than definitely. He's going to slide up into the 31 again, though. That's going to send Mark Redford back. Mark Murphy trying to sneak his way into the top 10. He's in 9th as Mark Redford's currently 10th. Everyone's really spread out for the time being, but De Jong is looking at the back bumper. Brostrom, he's trying to get through to the second place position. So it's settled down for the time being. Oh, never mind, right when I say that. It's a little bit of a bump to 71 at Brostrom. I think at this point, Nigel De Jong is just thinking, well, I might as well just try and find some other line. There he goes to the inside. And Josh is just going to sit back and let this happen. He'll fall through to the inside. Will Brostrom come off with the crossover? He will not, as he has the 28 to his inside. To the 23 of Daniel Beckett. As far as I can see, this is the closest battle. No, we don't actually. This is the closest battle. Stuart Barnett and Stephen Parks for 14th. And right when I say that, that goes away. So we do have that brewing third place battle with Josh Wong. Trying some way. He's going to use the top side again. You heard that 28 lift off the corner. That's a very smart move. Instead of trying to go for the position right away, he decides to back off. And, okay, that time was definitely for avoiding the outside wall there. So, unfortunately, Josh is going to be losing his momentum just a little bit. Linus in the third place position, trying to do whatever he can to stay in that third place position. And with 30 laps to go this time around, I'm going to go through a small part of your field just to see where they've came from, at least in terms of starting positions. So in first place, of course, we do have Ian Cornish. He starts second. His lowest position was third place. That's really that is looking strong so far. Nash De Jong has otherwise, as he started first and he's in second. So both of these drivers are position swap. So at the moment, Toyota's better than Chevy, but Nigel De Jong has something to say about that. Right now, Linus Brostrom in the third place position after starting fourth, one position up. Josh Wong with 4 positions up from where he started. He's in fourth. John Jarrett started 13th, and he is currently in fifth. So he has the most positions gained with 8. Patrick Orr started in 9th. He's currently in 6th, 3 positions up. Adam Wright, well, he didn't move much. He started 7th. He's currently in 7th, and that may change in a few moments' time. We're going to continue to look at this battle in the future times. But Carl Jacqueline, he's 10 positions up from where he started. Mike Robertson is a massive amount of positions up from 28th to 9th. So basically, I believe near dead last, second to last, I should say. Jonathan Ricks, 25th to 10th. So I do have a few drivers that they somehow make their way up to the top 5. They'd be getting a very great amount of exposure. But Nigel De Jong is closed in for the lead on the top side. Everyone's starting to use the top side now. Meanwhile, Josh Wong still trying to get around the top side. And seems to be the passing lane here at Kentucky. Trying again, gets almost cut off. Josh Wong trying to get to third place, and it's not really working out for the moment. He's going to be using the apron. Now he gets to the inside. Side by side down to turn number 1 and 2. And finally, Josh Wong is up to third. And right when I say that crossover from Brostrom, no, he decides to stay back behind that number 28. At the moment, De Jong has lost his close gap that he had originally from Cornish. Ken Bracy going to be staying up on the top side here. So Josh Wong finally has a chance to move his way up to at least second place, but if not, he more than likely will definitely settle with third place. To the inside goes De Jong, decides against it, stays up top, or stays behind the 81. He's going to be waiting for the right moment. So far this season, both of these drivers are the two most dominant in this series. I say so far this season, since we're only 3 races in. Well, 2 races officially in, and we're working on the third one right now, of course. Last time around, lap times were almost completely identical from the top 3. All of them ran a 33.0. But from first to third, it's a .008, a .042, a .050. So virtually equal lap times by this entire top 3. Question is, who is going to make the move first, and how soon? Now for the... well, never mind, actually. But that was a battle. This is definitely a battle for the 8th place position. Where we have Jonathan Rex in the number 27 right there in the top low side. He's going to be trying making his way up to the number 6 of Carl Jacqueline, who's in the 7th place position. For the time being, all these drivers are single file now, 7th through 10th. That's the 6 of Jacqueline, Jonathan Rex in the 27, Mark Murphy in the 58. And I somehow skipped over Mike Robertson. He's in 9th. So the gap is relatively the same, about 0.2 seconds between both of these front 2 runners. You see what the lap times come to this time around. On the right hand side of the driver name, 33.048 from Cornish, 33.105 from Nigel De Jong. You can see the difference there, about 0.2 seconds, and it's been fluctuating around 0.2 and 0.15. So Nigel De Jong may have finally met his match, or he's waiting for the right moment. Well, never mind. Caution is out, and that's a 27 as well as a 64 of Doug Kinraid. Mark Redford also involved. Heavy damage to his machine. So about a 3-car incident here. And 27 may have gotten the worst of it, as well as a 31 here on the back straightaway. This is going to be an interesting restart. But more than likely, these drivers will be heading to pit road. We'll find out what happened here after turn number 2. Oh man, Redford with a hard shot. Kinraid just wrecked himself, unfortunately. He may have gotten the wall in the background off turn number 2 there. Oh man, someone else made contact. I think that was Beckett, but we'll find out. I see a 24 of Sergio Cabral that made contact. Let's see what happened here. The 87 is right behind him, and no, that was just way too close. Oh man, hard shot to the outside. So 2 wrecks at the same time. There's Sergio. Oh. He made it through for the most part, but not without a little bit of damage at least. So of course everyone is in the pit road for the time being. 4 tires and fuel. Cornish first off. Second off is going to be the 41. John Jarrett third off. Fourth is going to be, well, someone just mauled the cone. Fourth is going to be Linus Brostrom. And fifth off is going to be Josh Wong. Sergio had decided to stay out. Not sure if it was by design or if he missed pit road. I think what happened from Redford is that he swerved to avoid the 25 of Bracy. We'll take another look here in a few laps. Pretty much right now, actually, since we do have time. It's very unfortunate for the... we actually had an accident, actually. Before we get to that, we had somebody wreck at pit road. That was a 303 of Stuart Barnett. Slowing down too quickly, and got the inside wall as well. Oh, got the 29 as well. That was Simon Marshall. And bringing the cone along with them for a few moments was the 82. Back to what we were originally going to get to was the onboard camera of Mark Redford to see what he saw on the back straightaway, and listen to the engine. Well, he definitely tried to swerve out of the way, I will say that. That unfortunately was way too late for him to really move out of the way. I think the 27 was going to try and get next to the 31 and use 25 as a pick to get position, but unfortunately that did not work out. So Sergio went to pit road, so he did miss pit road. Your top 5 is Cornish, De Jong, Jarrett, Brostrom, and Josh Wong. Pace car lights are off, and we'll be going green with 15 laps to go this time by. So your top 5 restarting: Cornish, De Jong, Jarrett, Brostrom, Wong, and your 6th through 10th is going to be Adam Wright, Mark Murphy, Mike Robertson, Stephen Parks, and Carl Jacquelet. Maybe slightly incorrect because of live scoring. But we will have a 15-lap shootout here. Green flag is out because already early down in the way was going to be Ian Cornish. We got a great start heading there off of turn number 4, wasting no time. John Jarrett makes his way up to 2nd place. Side by side, 3 wide, unfortunately, almost 3 wide there on the back straightaway. Adam Wright, he's made his way back up to at least the top, well, 6. He's trying to get it around Josh Wong in the 28 for that 5th place position. But the moment he's going to be getting held up, almost makes contact. He's trying to get to the inside. It's not going to work out for the time being. But Adam Wright wants back up in that top 3. Trying to protect both lanes is John Jarrett. He wants his 4th place position. 13 laps to go this time around, and Adam Wright still has that top side. So Ian Cornish has led 29 laps out of 75 here. John Jarrett doing a great job protecting that 4th place, so we just have an ongoing battle here for 5th. And it's probably who can get by John Jarrett. But Adam Wright's going to back off here. Meanwhile, Najee DeJong trying to catch up to that number 81 of Cornish. There's Michael Jones making his way to pit road, and pretty much on the back bumper down the back straightaway was that 41. And caution is out again. We have an interesting show. That's Sergio Cabral on the back straightaway. Wonder what happened to him. Replay coming up on your screen. And a little bit of contact, trying to protect positions, and that didn't work. Someone else was also involved. That was Carl Hayes. Man. Not sure if Sergio was trying to move out of the way, and Carl was also in that same line, but definitely arrived very quickly. No, he was just way too close, unfortunately. Hayes was, oh man, hard shot to the inside. Carl Hayes just moved up way too quickly, unfortunately. So no one that's really, no one from the front runners have decided to pit. We have 10 laps to go. So we do have at least one more moment for one more, I should say, room for one more caution, if it is needed at least. Just depends. Of course, don't forget everything will be reviewed by Emmons after the race. So at the moment when the drivers cross the start finish line, everything will be unofficial until further review. Laps to go, and nothing really to do for the moment tonight, or for the moment under this caution. Just more over anticipation. So we should be getting the green, at least the one to green this time around, and have a 7-lap shootout next time by. Eight laps to go. Lights are out. 7 laps to go. So Ian Cornish, Nigel DeJong, Linus Brostrom, John Jarrett, Josh Wong make up your top 5 for this restart. Pace car pulls off, 7 laps to go. Ian Cornish decides to drive off early. Green flag is out. Everyone's scattering to the top side. Stu Pomfrey's back up after getting involved in an incident earlier on. Everyone's slowly single file and just waiting for something to happen, or at least Travis to pull up a side by side. Josh Wong trying to get up to 4th place. It's not happening for the time being, though. With these laps closing down, Josh Wong knows that it's go time. He wants to get back up to at least the top 3 as quickly as he can. Will he dive to the inside off of turn number 2? He will. Waiting for the crossover from John Jarrett. And absolutely nothing as of now. For the lead, however, 5 laps to go. Nigel DeJong is applying all the pressure possible to the back bumper. Moves to the inside. Someone wrecked off turn number 4. That may have been the, or off turn number 2, I should say. But side by side. Maybe Patrick or even, but side by side for the lead, trying to get to the inside, trying to get his first win at Kansas. Kentucky, my goodness, it's going to be Nigel DeJong. Can he win 2 weeks in a row is the question here. Still trying to get to the inside, but fighting back on the outside is going to be Ian Cornish. Three laps to go this time by. I better hope that lap traffic is well out of the way if these drivers do catch up to them. Look at that move, that momentum that DeJong got off turn number 2 there. From the top side, no less. And he'll slide in front of the 81. Laps to go. So Nigel DeJong may have 2 weeks in a row. Trying to avoid lap traffic is going to be the 81 of Cornish. Final lap this time by for Nigel de Jong and maybe 2 other drivers in the form of Cornish and Brostrom. But at the moment, it's going to be all Nigel de Jong through turns 3 and 4. Nothing to do now as they enter the last few corners, as Nigel de Jong will win 2 weeks in a row here. Last week at Darlington, and this week he will win at Kentucky. Nigel de Jong wins again. Second place is Cornish, third Brostrom. We'll see if we can get interviews with them after the race. Josh Wong fourth, fifth place is going to be Adam Wright. The rest of your field will be shown in a few moments. Congratulations to Nigel de Jong for winning 2 weeks in a row here. As the sunset is pretty much completely gone. Hey, we have the proper smoke color. And Brostrom also doing some burnouts, probably his first top 3 in a while. I may be wrong, but they're probably teammates. Well, while they do burnouts, we'll see the final results. de Jong, Cornish, and Brostrom. First, second, and third. Fourth place, Josh Wong. Fifth place, Adam Wright. Sixth, John Jarrett. Seventh is Jake Forrester. Eighth place is John Jenkins. Ninth, Mark Murphy. And 10th is Simon Marshall. We have Carl Jacquelet in 11th. 12th, Christopher Kearney. 13th is going to be Stuart Bennett. 14th is Stephen Parks. 15th, Mike Robertson. 16th, Stuart Pomfrey. 17th, Patrick Orr. 18th, 19th, and 20th, respectively, are Daniel Beckett, Sergio Cabral, and Carl Hayes. And the rest of your 29-car field is Doug Kinraid, Jonathan Rex, Ken Bracey, Mark Redford, Matthew Dalton, unfortunately getting the worst of the race tonight, from 3rd to 25th. Michael Jones, 26th, 27th, Doug Pickering, 28th, Ian Bassey, 29th is Andy Oakley. So we will get the interviews of the top 3 here in a few moments' time. This is the Racing Line Broadcasting Network, going to bring you the final top 3 interviews after their race here at Kentucky.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original eSport racing game. This is iRacing.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Back here at Kentucky Motor Speedway, Kentucky Raceway. I don't even know the name of it. My goodness, it's been a long. Aside from that, though, we have Linus Broström here on standby. Linus Broström, do you have us?
Oh,
Well, hello. Somehow settings didn't work out properly, and iRacing has decided to automatically stop that. Thanks, iRacing. Anyways, aside from that, though, you managed to come off with a third place finish here after a very exciting battle, and well, just walk us through your entire race as a whole.
well, I haven't been much in the last month actually, so I didn't get much practice for this race either. Qualified fourth, I think, somehow, which surprised me quite well, but it's all about hitting the marks around here. And then in the earlier goings, I lost a couple of positions, just try to keep up with the front guys. Quite a few cautions, so we got some fresh tires, and then towards the end I was just trying to hit my marks and keep up with the front guys, and then Nigel caught me. I let him go to save my own tires and car, and then when Josh caught me, as soon as he went to the bottom, I let him go as well and try to keep up with them. And then on the last, it was basically just trying to keep up and stay ahead of John Jarrett and Josh Wong and the others behind me, and hold on to third, and that worked out. Unfortunately, they didn't hit each other in front of me, so I had to settle for third. But considering my preparation for this race, I'm very happy about that, and I'm happy to be back in the series again.
Yeah, you definitely did a great job to make your way up to third place. So there is that as well. Congratulations again. So as for that, you somehow managed to pull off that third place finish. And with the day-night transitions, of course, my question is, with the track in the sunset, how was it for? How was the transition throughout the night from sunset and practice to night?
Well, I had full focus on not hitting the other car, so I did notice it quite a bit and watch it quite a bit through the practice session, but through the race, I was too busy watching out for other people to actually notice it, unfortunately. But hopefully there will be more races like this where we see the effects of that. However, I did notice on the restarts, because on the last restart, I was able to, or second to last restart, I was able to just be full throttle all the way through 1 and 2, which I hadn't been before, and that gained me 2 positions as well. So that kind of helped put me up into that position I was in. So, and I think that was a little bit thanks to the day-night transition. But other than that, I didn't have any time to think about it actually.
You never know. It could work out. That probably couldn't work out, unfortunately. But for next week for you, it did work out. So before we let you go, any thoughts before? Well, not any thoughts, but yeah, any thoughts heading into Lucas Oil next week?
Um, it's gonna be an interesting race, an interesting track, that's for sure. But I haven't driven that track in ages, so I'm not really sure what to expect. But a lot of practice will get you a long way on that track. I think it's gonna be very, very tight, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very very tight racetrack to work with. So before we go ahead and let you go, anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to for your third place finish here tonight?
Well, the guys setting it up, John, Doug, and Reese, the guys over at Turn for Racing, my teammates, and also big congratulations to Nigel on winning the race.
Well, we are going to go ahead and let you go. Congratulations again on your third place finish.
Yeah, thanks.
So that was the number 71, Linus Broström, finishing in the second place position. We will get to possibly Ian Cornish here in a few moments' time, who has finished in second place for this race. He almost had gotten the win as well as second win here at Kentucky, but unfortunately, Nash DeJong had other plans, so we may not mention that to him. Maybe we will. We'll find out. But let's see if we can get Cornish here in a moment. In Cornish, you have us. Oh, he's actually busy right now for the time being, so we'll go to Nigel DeJong. He's available.
Just
Hey, Nigel.
/ my turn racing. Hello.
Hi. Well, you came off with the race win here at Kentucky, your first race win here as well. So, congratulations on how's the track for practice as compared to pretty much into the night?
Um, well, I ran a few laps during the practice, and it seemed really tight. And towards the end of the race, it actually started getting loose a bit, so it was fun. And then, unfortunately, yet another caution ended that. No, it was intense. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was really wild, and of course pretty much. Well, just go ahead and walk us through your entire race in general, because you somehow managed to pull off a few great pit stops as well as getting around Ian Cornish, who was one here before. So, just walk us through again your entire race in general.
Well, obviously, started on the pole was pretty good, and just running up front for a bit with the guy, even with the two tire guys. So I had some pretty good pace, and then all of a sudden Ian got out in front, started running him back down, but never could quite catch. And then I think we had those last couple of cautions, and I thought I had a pretty decent pit stop, and then he just was miles out ahead. So I was pretty unhappy with that, I guess. But on that last few laps, somehow I was able to get to his outside and get by. We were just talking about it, and he had no clue how it happened, and neither do I. Really happy it happened though.
I don't think anyone knows how that happened, but that's the joy of the night transitions. You don't know if it's either the track or if it's actually the driver. So there is that as well. Before we head into as we head into next week for Lucas Oil, what are your thoughts for that as compared to the last few races that we did? Super Speedway, Talladega, Darlington, and here at Kentucky, and now we have a very short track over at Lucas Oil. So thoughts for next week?
Well, we went there once a couple of seasons ago, I think, and I really made myself look like a fool. So I just hope to hopefully sneak away with a top five and an incident free race, because I'm not that good there. I don't like the.
Especially apparent here. Not everyone likes short tracks, and I can see why.
I mean, I love short tracks, and it's close, it's intense racing, but somehow me and Lucas all just don't get together. I don't know.
Hopefully next week you will be able to. Before we go ahead and let you go, anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to for your win here this week?
Not necessarily, but just Ian and Josh for making it a fun battle, and Linus. It was fun racing each other clean, and it was hard to pass, but we made it all work. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it's definitely fun up here as well. So we're going to go ahead and let you go. Congratulations once again on your win here this week.
Thank you. Hope to see you next week.
We hope to see you too. If he survives, that is. He's probably going to find out I said that. But yeah, hopefully he will. He did mention that Lucas Oil isn't really his best of tracks, so that is the first step to trying to hopefully survive for another race. So next week on Sunday, not sure if Ian Cornish is really available still or not. We'll wait just a little bit. If somebody could give him a word to have him in the interview lobby, that would be wonderful. So we'll wait just a little bit. In the meantime, though, next week we will have Lucas Oil Raceway. Same time as per usual, 3:55 p.m. Eastern Time, well, roughly. And for the Red Light Scrambler Series, we do have currently no picture available, but for tomorrow night, we will have Dover in the Xfinity cars. So that's going to be a wonderful change as compared to Charlotte and the Cup cars from last week, where Xterrio had one ahead of oh boy, I don't remember his first definition second, but I know it was an amazing battle for sure. But aside from that, though, we are going to go ahead and sign off. We thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you tomorrow night for the Red Light Scrambler Series at Dover in the Xfinity cars. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.